Hello guys, welcome to Ride VIP, the Ride Show channel. My name is Serge, and in today's video I want to tell you guys what I'm doing. So as you can see, I'm driving in my Range Rover. It is Friday. I'm going to work the weekend again. All I've been doing is basically working the weekend when it comes to working for Lyft. I haven't been working for Uber since I started working for Lyft. I think it's been a couple months now. The time is going by very quickly. So a little updates that I have. As you guys recently know, I've been in a car accident. My BMW is totaled. At least that's what the insurance company said. So I no longer have the BMW. It was picked up and it's going to be at the Copart auction in somewhere in North Carolina. I forgot where. I think maybe Gastonia, maybe. I think there's a Copart auction there. But with that being said, I did get $4,500 for it, slightly under $4,500. Yeah, it's a little low amount, but what can I say? It had 260,000 miles on it. It still was driving excellent up until the crash. So with that being said, I got my money's worth. I bought that car with 193,000 miles. The only thing that I'm a little bit sad about, but this is replaceable, is the N54 engine that it had. The N54 engine in the BMW is a very special engine. The 2010, they finally perfected it. Like, they took all the kinks out of it. Prior to that, it had some injector issues, high pressure fuel pump and fuel rail, you know, which cost a lot of money to replace. So I was only left to worry about the turbos. But look, I haven't had to mess with the turbos at all. I did have some wastegate rattle, and that was since I got the car. I could imagine it had wastegate rattle even prior to that. So I put close to 70,000 miles on it with no problems out of the turbos. That car was strong. It performed really well. I took really good care of it. That kind of thing. Now, since technically they did not pay me enough what the car was worth, the car Blue Book value was still, even with the mileage, at best like $7,000 and slightly above. They basically gave me like a fair market value, kind of like the mid price, which, what can I say? Insurance companies, you could expect them to do that, right? So I had an option to keep it. I would need to pay for the car about $1,800, but guess what? I won the car at an auction for $1,900. So after paying all the auction fees and getting it towed to my house, it cost me like $2,500, and that was a clean titled car, like 193,000 miles, but still lower miles than what I currently have. And I did a judgment call, and I figured, you know what, time for an upgrade. So I will be looking for an upgrade at some point. Up until then, here's what I'm gonna do. And my decisions, they always change. I learned to make decisions on the fly and change my mind just as fast. I always need to make sure that whatever is the most, well, whatever's the best decision at the time, that's what I end up doing. So I've taken a look at the auction. I found like this other BMW, guys, but it's gone now. I did not get to have it. It's a 2008 BMW with 150,000 miles, and it's a 7 Series. So it was a clean title car, black, 750. It's supposed to be, well, it says LI, but I think I'm confusing with the Audi ILs, LI, you know, it's kind of confusing. So it's the extra long model, basically what it means. So I always wanted one of those. Again, you know, BMW is not reliable, but 7 Series, even less reliable. But nonetheless, it did say it had mechanical issue, as what my BMW said when I bought it. I didn't do nothing mechanical for it. I replaced the starter and replaced high pressure oil cooler line and called it a day. But as it was running, like, the engine sounded like a diesel, and I specialize in diesel, and that was not a diesel engine. So there's a possibility something deep wrong with inside of the engine. So if you're not a mechanic, that's going to be a really expensive fix. If you are, you should be okay. But BMW had some issues when it comes to timing chain guides, and amongst other things. But I think that it had some timing chain guides and possibly a timing chain stretch issue. Could even be something with the piston that causes them to do that. Might have been overheated at least one time, but we don't know, So, but either way, it was $1,000. So with auction fees, it would have cost me like nearly $1,500. And I think like that would have been pretty good, like pretty good replacement, because the car was not even hit. It's just like a clean title car, just has a mechanical issue. And in a way, if you want to get a clean title car, that's the way you should do it. If you want to get a low mileage car, it usually is going to be like a salvage car because it's been smashed, and that's the only way to really get those cheap at auctions. But usually when it's a mechanical issue with a BMW, they worth nothing, So what I'm going to need to do is find myself probably a BMW, because they probably hold the least amount of value. They're really fun. Everybody loves them. It's an ultimate driving machine. Like, people love to drive them when they don't have no issues, but when they break, very expensive to fix. And since they're very expensive to fix, I could get a very good deal on them because they're worth nothing. They're worthless at auction. And the funny thing is, I test drove that same 7 Series BMW back in 2013. No, not 2000. Yeah. Hold on. No. 2011. I test drove it, and it was $90,000 car, and I was actually discounted by $10,000. And on the test drive, the AC stopped working. Like, that was like a brand new car technically. It was just a leftover from the year past, so that discounted by $10,000. And he's like, "Oh yeah, I could get it working again." I'm like, wasn't gonna buy it, but I was like, I just wanted to test drive it because I always wanted to have a 7 Series. But that's what it is when it comes to that. But anyways, up until I make my decision in which car I wanna get, I'm gonna continue driving my Range Rover on the weekend, and while I'm not driving Monday through Thursday, I'm gonna be working on some cars that I own and getting them ready to sell. And at least for now, I have this idea. I'm thinking maybe I should wait with a replacement for now, just because I have a lot of cars. And what I could end up doing is, each time I fix a car, right, I will switch insurance and tags to it, because the BMW insurance is still active. I've still been paying for it, and the tags is still active. I have not turned in the plates, nothing. So what I'm planning to do is transfer that to a different vehicle. So I have a vehicle in mind which is probably not even going to qualify for Lyft. I need to check. I would be very surprised if I could use that car for Lyft right now. I got a 2005 Chrysler 300 limited edition. I'm in the process of making it look like a Chrysler 300C. It's very nice on the inside, and it's a 3.5 liter engine. They're very strong, very nice cars. It only has 100,000 miles on it, clean title car. And what I'm planning on doing is, I gotta replace the alternator on it. It's not charging, but I think it might be a little bit more than an alternator, or could be a little bit less than an alternator, because those things are real weird when it comes to alternators. You can replace an alternator, it might still not have a charging issue. It might still have a battery light on and it not going to be charging. They say body control modules go bad on them. I don't know, but what I'm going to need to do is remove the alternator, have it tested, see what's up with it. Because I did replace the brushes on it. I did it myself on my other YouTube channel, and this was like a long time ago. And I just sort of had the car just sit up until now. And also it needs a new ignition switch, it still starts, but you can't turn it all the way. You sort of have to turn it all the way and then slightly back for it to start. So it's kind of like a little trick for it to start out. But either way, the battery's gonna die. But if Lyft allows, I would like to use that car for Lyft. It's gonna be slightly better fuel economy. It's still luxury and it's a black car. And what I could do is I could put it for sale while I'm driving it, because that's going to be sort of like the ultimate goal right now is while I'm driving the car, I'm selling the car. And as soon as it sells, I transfer the tags to the next car, because every 4 days, Monday through Thursday, I'm going to plan to get another car ready and another car ready. I really need to get back into doing that kind of thing, because that's going to start putting money in my pocket. And I know some of you guys are already doing the same thing. And I know you guys think I like project cars, which I don't. I started getting those cars when I had the least amount of money. As a matter of fact, when I got the Chrysler 300, that was all the money I had. And I bought it from the auction for $1,500. Yeah. So that was not a bad deal for me. I went ahead and won it, but that was all the money I had. I wasn't working for Lyft or Uber at the time. As a matter of fact, I was taking some time off and to try to figure out like a home business. I was doing like eBay and stuff. You know, I wasn't making that much money, but I was making some money. It was allowing me to live technically on my own terms, but sort of like feeling like I'm broke, even though, you know, my home is paid for and everything, because I had very little money, so I was not able to really get anything I wanted. I was just able to live my life for free and go to basically fishing every day and that kind of thing, because my YouTube channel, my main one, it makes me enough money for me not to have to work. It's not a lot of money, but it's enough to cover all the basic necessities, maybe to the restaurant once a week with the family. That's about it. You know, you can't really live on that comfortably. I mean, you can if you wanted to just play video games and stay home all day and not have a family. Yeah, you could live pretty comfortably with that, because all you needed some ramen noodle soup and some pizza, and you probably would call it a day, you know. Which I like playing video games. I haven't played much video games for about 6 months. I'm trying to change up my routine and to basically just use the time for stuff that matters, you know, in life. But with that being said, guys, I'll keep you updated. I'll show you guys kind of like what's going on. But for now, I'll be driving the Range Rover, and it's a quite comfortable vehicle. I enjoy it. They're very safe. The fuel economy is not great, but I'm still making enough money to cover the fuel and not to have to worry about it. And one last thing, it has to do with rideshare. Currently, there is no quest for Lyft. No quest this week. Later on this day, there's about $26 worth of ride streaks. So I'm hoping, well, I'll get them. I was gonna say, like, I'm hoping I could get them, but I'll get them because I'm starting a little bit earlier today to work. But yeah, I don't see any quests right now. And since this Range Rover does not qualify for Uber, I'm not gonna be using it for Uber. But Uber has a good quest this week. But looks like I'll be missing out on it. You know, I think it's like $135 quest, which is better than $60 that they offered me last week on the weekend, you know. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Take care of yourself, and see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.